Good people, good people, good people. Let me talk to you for a minute. So, most people know me as a 5-time author and a life coach, and that I've spoken in churches from North Carolina to California. But what they don't know is I'm currently experiencing one of the worst seasons of my life. It started out in February with one incident, but since then it's been one thing after another, to the point where I feel like it's an avalanche. It's just getting bigger and bigger. And even, you know how it is when there's a major things going on in your life and one small thing happens and it just knocks the wind out of you. So let me tell you, last week my vacuum cleaner stopped working. Not a big deal ordinarily. Vacuum cleaners don't last a lifetime. But when it broke, I just sat on the couch and I was like, what's next? And it really wasn't a big deal because I have another vacuum cleaner, but this is the vacuum cleaner I like. So, needless to say, have you ever felt like there was a time in your life when you just couldn't get a break? If that's been you, type me in the comments. And the reason I'm asking you to type me is because we need to know that we are not alone in what we are going through. So that's been everything that's been, things that have been going on since February and up until current day, still going on. So yesterday I talked to my pastor and first lady, Pastor Wortham, and First Lady Patricia Wortham, about everything that's been going on, because yesterday I had a really bad day. A really bad day. So I talked to them after church, and I went through the rest of my day, and it got better, but it still wasn't my normal joyful self, because you guys know I'm the Joyful Living Life Coach. I'm full of joy, but I'm making this video so that you know that even I experience those seasons that I often talk about. Shoot, if you read my book, Can These Bones Live Again? You know I've had many seasons in my life that were seemingly unbearable in the moment. But let me tell you, last night I had a dream that I was walking off a major stage. And as I was walking off the major stage, like at a really large convention, I saw someone waving at me. They were just waving frantically. So I turned to wave at them. But when I turned to wave, I realized it was former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama and a little kid. I don't know who the little kid was. But I walk over to them because I'm like, oh my God. I walk over to them, and in the dream, instantly, we transform from being at the convention to sitting at a dinner table together. And First Lady tells President Barack Obama, she hits me on the hand, tell Barack what you told me. So that tells me one thing, I've already had a conversation with her. So I began to tell him about what I'm doing with gardening and why it is important. And I even said in the dream, in my conversation with President Barack Obama, food is fast and cheap, but it is nutritionally bankrupt. And I began to tell him about the reasons why I started growing my food and what growing food means to us as a family and as a society. The conversation goes on, and there's a man with me, and I slide in my phone and it's like, get some pictures. So again, he turns it and gives the camera to a little kid, and he's taking all of these pictures that have a special effect on them. But President Barack tells me, don't worry about it, we're going to take some pictures at the end. This dream was so huge, and it was like in HD vivid color. I can remember every aspect of it. But that dream when I woke up this morning, the first thing that popped in my head was, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." I could have ran right then. I was still laying in my bed, but I could have jumped up and ran. But that dream tells me a couple of different things. Number one, this is just a season. Number two, I'm going to be walking off the stage at major conventions. Number three, I'm going to meet major people. But number four, I'm not just going to meet them. I'm going to sit down at the dinner table with them. And even to that man that was with me, y'all know how I've said, I don't want a husband. I just don't. It's never been my dream. But I do want a companion. And that man tells me there's going to be a companion. And the little kid is not my child, but it tells me that there's going to be a young person on my team that's going to be doing my tech. That you won't be getting any more of these homemade videos. There's going to be a production team. So when I tell you that dream was chocked full of nuggets. So just when you feel like you're at the end of your rope, God, God will give you a peek at things just to give you what you need to keep going. So this morning, I feel renewed. I feel hopeful, and I feel my joy coming back. Because I've been on a dark season, but it's still there. It never left. It was just so much going on that it was hard to feel it. So I'm sharing this with you guys this morning in the hopes that somebody will see this video and decide not to give up. You can have your hope again. You can have your joy again. You can have your peace again. Don't give up, because the thing that you're passionate about, just like I'm passionate about this garden, is going to be the thing that puts you in whatever arena that you want to be in. This garden is going to be the thing that puts me on stages that I never imagined. So, guys, this has been Kimberly Dixon, your avid gardener, coach, and speaker.